the 10th. I almost forgot what day it was. It's the 10th. And I only know that because it's like 3 days away from my sister's 20th birthday. So, yay. So yeah. So we're gonna start week 2. I was gonna do this video earlier, but then I got sidetracked again and again and again and again. I have already started the second book for the Friends Readathon. I was actually gonna get a whole lot more done than just 4 chapters, but it's a good start to read 4 chapters in one day because I haven't done that in like a week, which is not like me at all. But I've just been busy and tired and exhausted, so yeah. But I should be able to be reading more soon. This book is the 3rd book in the Storymakers trilogy. It's for... crap, which point of view is this for? Joey's, I think, but which one? Oh yeah, it's for How You Doing. Read a book with a compelling tagline or review. And here's the tagline. There's no place like home and no way in spell to get back. So this switches back and forth from Dorothea's point of view, who the first book was only her point of view, and Rexy's point of view, and the second book was only her point of view. And this one goes back and forth between their point of views. I think I'm on Dorothea's still. This doesn't say anyone's point of view. It's only 2 chapters. I think it's Dorothea's dream, because she's dreaming about Kato because he's dead. And she loved him more than anything, and thought that he is dead is killing her. Especially since she had died, and now she's not, and now she's in a different realm. And yeah. But yeah. So this is their story. It's the last book in this series, and then that will be my second book of the year and of the Friends Readathon once I finish it. Hopefully I'm going to finish it in the next couple of days. I'm hoping it doesn't take me as long to do the last one. The last one is my least favorite in the series, so that's why it took me so long. But the end did get really, really intriguing. This one I don't really remember that much, except I vaguely remember the ending. Mostly on Dorothea's ending, not really on Rexy's ending. But yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to finish this soon, hopefully. I'm going to spend tomorrow in the morning break, both breaks and lunch from work, I'll be reading, and then when I get home, I'm hopefully gonna read. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, I already finished the first book of the Friends Readathon, Wanted, second book in the series, and that was that was for Rachel. For her prompt was your shoe, your shoe, your shoe. Yeah. So her prompt was, it's like your entire life everyone tells you your shoe, your shoe, your shoe, your shoe. Read a book with a shoe on the cover. And as you can tell, this entire series has shoes on the cover. So I got lucky with that one. So I chose the second one, and because I thought this tagline was just a little bit more intriguing than the other one, that's why I chose that one for the shoe and this one for the tagline. But yeah, so that's my progress so far. I would have read more, but things came up today, and I didn't really get the chance, and now it's late, and I just want to relax and not do much. I wasn't even going to film. I mean, I was going to film this video today, but this video I'm going to film like right after this video that I wasn't going to film today, but now I'm really anticipating it, and even though part of me says no, I don't want to film it today, the other part is like, if I don't film it, I'm not going to be able to until next weekend probably, and I'm going to be anticipating it, and that's going to not be fun. So yeah, so that's all for now, and we'll see how well I can actually finish this in the next couple of days, see if that actually works. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, I just came in for a quick update before I go to bed. It is, I have no idea what time it is. 10 o'clock exactly, so yeah, I'm going to bed.
Family don't end with blood, boy.
So I did some reading today. I did some in the morning before work, then during both my breaks, and at lunch, and on the car ride home. And then I just spent the last little less than an hour because my mom, because I was reading in my mom's room, and we talked as I try and read and fooled around a bit. So I didn't. But I did read for a while, and I got. Oh, and we're now okay. I just started this book. Today's Monday, so yesterday. Yeah, I just started this yesterday, and I'm already about over halfway, right? Or halfway, a little over halfway. I'd say it's about a good even halfway, in my opinion. So yeah, that's how much I've gotten done. I haven't tabbed that much, but yeah. I'm liking it. It's keeping my interest. Um, Even the Rexy chapters are kind of keeping my interest because Rexy did grow me a bit more on this book, and I am all interested in her love interest. Mordred, I didn't like him as in the second book, but him and her relation has gotten a lot more complex. And yeah, so I just dropped in to tell you how I'm doing, and it is the 11th. So I will make another video tomorrow telling you my progress. Hopefully, I'm hoping I finish the book tomorrow. No promises. It depends on if I even want to read tomorrow. So yeah. And that's it. And yeah, I'm going to use the restroom and go to bed. At least attempt to. And then I'm gonna see if I can wake up a little bit early tomorrow, watch some TV to wake myself up, and then maybe read before work too. Try to really wake myself up in the morning. Take a shower in the morning too, because I'm not going to take a shower tonight. I'm like, nope, don't feel like it. So yeah. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow and update you on my progress. So yeah, see ya. Hey, trying to situate my iPad. Okay. Hi, it's Johara. And so update. It is the 12th now, and I'm almost done with this. Let me fix my bookmark. See, I don't have that much left. I mean, I still have quite a bit left technically, but with all this big chunk, I consider that almost done. But I might be outnumbered on that one. But yeah, I've done a lot of reading the last couple of days, which is good because beginning of the month I did not do a lot of reading. But I think that's partly also because the book I was in, I didn't really get into it until closer to the end. After, Rexy got reading, I read Dorothea because I read the series for Dorothea and Dorothea's relationship with Cato, and a little bit about Dorothea's friendship with Rexy. I'm not the biggest Rexy fan, but she has her moments, and I do like her friendship with Dorothea at times. So yeah. But I am on chapter 28, and there are, I want to say 38, I think, actually. Yeah, 38 plus the epilogue. So yeah, I just have 10 more chapters, and then the epilogue, which is like, this is the epilogue, and then like that. So yeah. So I'm not gonna tell you what's happened. Not giving you any spoilers, but I do like this book more than the second one. I don't know if I like it more than the first one right now. I'm gonna say no, mostly because Dorothea is first of all in a different realm, and so and so there's not really many Cato scenes because Cato's technically dead and not dead at the same time. It's a little complicated, but so they don't get many scenes in this one. They had the most scenes in the first book because they meet at the beginning, and then throughout the book you show the relationship blossom because like they hated each other, and then they became friends and became so much more. And then the second book, it was in Rexy's point of view, and she left the group for a while, so you didn't see Dorothea or Cato that much. You saw Cato a little bit more, but that's a different story. But yeah, so I was a little disappointed, and since Cato is kind of dead right now, yeah, and he's not, and Dorothea and Rexy's point of view switches. So yeah, but I've been reading like at both my breaks at work in the morning while I'm in the break room before work because I usually get there half hour early, and then so the morning before work, both my breaks and my lunch, and in the car ride home I read last couple of days. So yeah, trying to get a lot done. I want to finish this book today. Not 100% sure it will happen. So no promises. So I am going to read, and let's see how much I actually get done. I might take out my hair because if I'm gonna lay back, then I don't know, it might get in my way. But I'm gonna read, see how much I actually get done. Because this is a good book, I do like it. It's not one of my favorite series, and it probably never will be. But I do like it enough to reread it, obviously. And one of my hair ties just fell. Oh well, I'll get that later. I don't care right now. So, yay! Let's finish this book and see how it ends. I mean, I read it this one time before, but I don't remember anything really. So yeah, that's fun. Let me find a better angle to put this. Okay. I can't get situated apparently. Okay. I'm going to move my pillow pad, maybe that'll help, into a different section. No, not that one. Will I ever get situated? We do not know. Okay. Okay, now let's do this. trial. I want to say it was called Fear. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was called Fear. About the trial of heart, and Dorothea had her own trials too. What was it called? Trial of I don't know what it was called, but basically she had to trial of letting go, I guess is what it was. But yeah. Now I'm on chapter 30, and it is Dorothea's point of view. I'm now in chapter 31, which is Rexy's point of view. Yay! So, I'm going to try to get a little bit more reading done, but I'm going to shut off my camera now. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's getting to pretty sure it's at the climax now. The final fight's about to happen, so yay. Because that's always intriguing. If not today, definitely tomorrow I'll finish it. Might even have to bring a second book with me at work if I don't finish it tonight. I want to finish it tonight, though, I really do. So yeah, and if I do finish it tonight, I may or may not. Actually, I might finish it tomorrow because I don't know if I have the energy. But I don't know. But even if I do finish it tonight, I will probably give you the review for it tomorrow because I'm not going to do that. No. So that's all, and I'll give you my next update whenever I have one. See ya. Hey, I'm back, and it is the 13th. So I didn't read yesterday. Well, I did read. I talked to you about that already. I mean, I didn't finish the book, is what I'm talking about. But I did finish it today at work. Yay. I loved it. Rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I decided that it's not quite as good as the first book, but close. So yeah. And so I finished 2 books for the Friends Readathon. First one is Wanted, the second book in the series. For Rachel's, one of Rachel's prompts is like, all my life, everyone tells you you're a shoe, you're a shoe, you're a shoe, you're a shoe. Read a book with a shoe on the cover, which was Wanted. And then did it for Joey, I believe it was, right? Joey, how you doing? Read a book with a compelling tagline review. Finished, which I just finished. So now I have 2 more books. I'm doing, as I mentioned before, I'm doing 6 prompts, 1 for each of the Friends characters. But luckily the next book I'm going to read, this is the next book I'm going to read, guys. I decided on this one, right? What was the other book? Okay, yeah, this was it. I remember. Okay, the next book I'm going to read actually works for 3 of the prompts, which is Hocus Pocus and the All New Sequel. Half of it is about the original movie that everyone knows, and then the second half is 25 years later with Max and Allison's daughter Poppy, who ends up going to the house with her best friend Travis and her crush Isabella, and they end up resurrecting witches, but with a twist, a different twist than Max and Allison and Danny did. And they even have to team up with um, Poppy's enemy, Katie, who is actually the daughter of Jay, who was that blonde guy that harassed Max in this movie. So yeah. But I read it once. I want to say it was around October, honestly. But I might be wrong. Oh, I think it was October, cause I think it was the month of All Hallows Eve, but I might be wrong. I don't know. But I'm reading it again for this. It works for 3 of the prompts. Let me find the prompts, and I'll tell you which ones I'm going to be working for next. Yay. Okay, for one of Phoebe's prompts is, "Oh sweet Lord, this must be what evil tastes like. Read a book that has a compelling villain." We all know the Sanderson sisters are definitely compelling villains. For Chandler, "I tend to keep talking until somebody stops me. Read a book with over 500 pages. Hocus Pocus and the Only Sequel has barely over 500, if I remember correctly. Because I see. 517. No. 521. 521. So yeah, not that. So maybe not barely over 500, but still kind of low there. So yeah. And then for Ross, "When I actually die, some people are going to be seriously haunted. Read a book with ghosts." And this book has ghosts because there's actually a 4th Sanderson sister who was actually good, and she comes back as a ghost to help them, and so does both Binks and his little sister, Emily. They both come back as ghosts to help Poppy and her friends stop the witches. So yeah, that's fun. So I'm excited to start this again. It is such a good read, and it's so amazing. And I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm a little scared for the Hocus Pocus sequel movie they're making, because I don't know. I just feel like not many people really know that there's a sequel book, and because of that, it terrifies me that, because after reading this book, if the movie isn't like the sequel part of the book, I'm going to be throwing fits. I'm going to be throwing crap. I'll be throwing, if I rent that movie, buy the movie, I don't care. I'll be chucking it at the stinking wall. It better be just like this book. If it's not, then I'm not okay. And I'll never be okay again. Because there's already a sequel. And all Hocus Pocus fans should know that. So if you don't know that it is a sequel, read the sequel, because it is good. It is amazing, and it has and for all you LGBTQ lovers out there, is a part of that. Poppy and Isabella are lesbians, and they are a cute couple. And sadly, they are the only lesbian couple I've ever read about, which makes me sad. Which is why I want to write more of those in my books, because I'm a lesbian, so I like to add that. And my issue is that so if anyone has any LGBTQ recommendations, please throw them at me. But tell me if you find any fantasy, because fantasy is my thing, and it's mostly what I read, except for Aaron Hunter's books. It's like my fantasy is my thing. It's like the thing I love so much more than anything, and I think that's why I haven't gotten many LGBTQ books, because I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like a lot of those are in stuff like contemporary and stuff, and I don't think many of those are in fantasy. And it's any LGBTQ book I would love recommendations for in fantasy, especially lesbians. They are my favorite out of the group. I might be a little biased because I am lesbian, but gays, trans, all of it, any part, bisexual, any part of the LGBTQ community, I would love recommendations in fantasy, because I need more of that in my life. And sadly, not many fantasy books that I've read, at least, that I've read, have it. And that makes me sad. So please throw me any recommendations you have, because I need more. Because Poppy and Isabella, I live for, because they're the only one couple I know that's part of that community that's in a fantasy book. So I love many lesbian and gay characters and trans characters and bi characters on TV. Because with TV, I'm a little more open to what I'll watch. I watch just about any genre except for romance, even though fantasy still is my favorite genre in TV. But in TV, I watch just about every genre except for pure romance, because like I can't do that in that and erotica. I can't do that in movies or books, or TV shows or anything. So yeah. So I have plenty of characters on TV that I love that are part of that community, but not in books, and that makes me sad. So if you have any fantasy recommendations that have that in it, then I will give them a try, and I hope I love them. Because if I don't, I probably will be sad. So yeah. Um. So I can't wait to reread this book. It is so amazing. I love to tab it, and I can't wait to read more about Poppy and Isabella because I love them, and I can't wait to read more about Poppy and Travis' friendship because it's so underrated, and Travis as a character is so underrated, to be honest, and I love it. And yeah, so you should definitely check this out. If you have not, if you're a Hocus Pocus fan, I highly, highly recommend it. You would not be disappointed. It is a perfect sequel, and I swear if that movie isn't just like this sequel, I'll be throwing punches. So yeah, try this. It is worth it. So that's all for this update. I'll give you an update probably tomorrow. I'll tell you how much I end up reading. I'm not gonna be reading tonight. I know that much for sure. It is already 9:10, so I'll be going to bed here in like an hour. And so, but I'll definitely be starting this book tomorrow morning, in the break room before 7 o'clock hits when I have to clock in and start work.
It's a text message.
So yeah, and I'm excited for that. So, I'm not excited for work. I'm excited
text
to
message.
read this book because it's a good book. So you should definitely read that.
It's
and
a text message.
I'll give you an update tomorrow on how much I read, and I'll see how much I read when I'm home because I've been so exhausted this week because I've been working so tirelessly. I'm like working so fast to the point where I barely have a minute to breathe because I'm trying to get as much done. I'm trying to outshine myself, kind of. I didn't even realize I was doing that until my mom kind of pointed it out. So yeah, a competition with myself apparently, and it's tiring me out. So I'm end up so. Sadly, I haven't been reading much when I get home. I read plenty when I'm on my breaks at work. I just don't read much when I get home because all I want to do is kind of lie down and do nothing and relax and rest because I'm just so tired and exhausted after work. But thankfully, the weekend's almost here, and then I will be reading a lot. I hope I'm gonna definitely try and finish this book by this weekend, by Sunday at the latest. But this video will be going up on Saturday, so I may not finish this book by the time this video goes up, but for the next week vlog or whatever, I will definitely talk about how I loved it at the end, and yeah. So that's all for this update, and I'll talk to you from my next update. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm back. I don't know what day it is, so it can help if I knew what day it was. 16th. I haven't filmed in the last couple of days to update you on my reading progress, but I told you that I was reading this book now, and I just started a couple days ago. I've already got a pretty good chunk right there. It's a pretty hefty book. As you can tell, I'm doing this for 3 of the Friends Readathon prompts. One of them is the fact that it's over 500 pages, which it is. Then what was the other 2 again? Okay, I'm gonna look it up because I don't remember. So go to where my Friends Readathon prompts are. Okay, so let's see. Oh, sweet lord, this must be what evil tastes like. Read a book that has a compelling villain, which, yes, these Anderson sisters. This is one of Phoebe's prompts. Then for one of Chandler's, I tend to keep talking until somebody stops me. Read a book of over 500 pages. It is. Ross, when I actually die, some people are going to be seriously haunted. Read a book with ghosts, and this does feature a few ghosts in the later in the book, because like anyone who knows Hocus Pocus knows that. But the first section because there's like two parts. The first part is just like the movie, except they did add a few scenes that weren't on the movie, but everything that was on the movie is in this part. They just added a few things as well, and then the other part is 25 years later with Max and Allison's daughter Poppy, and in that part they show ghosts because Elizabeth Sanderson, who is actually the fourth Sanderson sister, which no one knew about, comes back as a ghost. She was actually a good witch. And then there's Binks and Emily who come back as ghosts too to help Poppy and her best friend Travis and her crush Isabella to defeat the Sandersons. And yeah, so this book I'm loving. First time I read it, I only read the second half because I was in the mood to read the entire thing, and I already knew how the movie went. And my mom did read it before me, and she said that was pretty much word for word for the movie. She didn't tell me that there were scenes that wasn't in the movie, but yeah. But this time I decided that to read the entire thing. As you can tell, I'm tabbing it. They also did something a little bit different at the beginning. The first few chapters, it went back and forth between what was going on in Salem back in the Witch's Day, and then what was going on in Salem now with Max coming back. But that was only the first few chapters, and then it was only what's going on in present day 1993 of Salem. And then, 25 years later happens. So yeah. I love this book. And I'm going to be reading it a bit tomorrow. And I'm going to try to get more done. I'm going to try to at least finish the first part. I'm already near the end of the first part, I'm pretty sure. Because I've seen... Yeah, actually. I am. I was even closer than I realized. Because here's part 2, as you can tell. And this is all I have left. So I'm definitely reading that tomorrow. And because that's all I have left, I guess I only have 2 chapters left of this. I'm definitely going to be reading some of the other parts too. Let's see how far I get tomorrow. But you won't find that out until next week, because I'm uploading this video today, so next week. So my updates on how it's going tomorrow won't be until next Saturday, and then that'll be for the third part of the readathon. This is for the second. So yeah, I love this book. If you're a Hocus Pocus fan, I highly recommend it. There is, if you're big on queer representation, Poppy, Max Allison's daughter, is a lesbian, and so is Isabella, which I love. Sadly, they're the only queer characters I have met in any book I've read, and that kind of makes me sad because as I've mentioned on numerous occasions, I read fantasy pretty much only, except for Aaron Hunter's books. So fantasy is my thing, and I don't know if it's just not the books that I've picked up, but most of the books that I do find that are in fantasy just don't have queer representation, which makes me sad. For what I noticed, most of queer representation is in contemporary, and that makes me sad because contemporary is just not my cup of tea. But I love Poppy and Isabella's, and I cherish that relationship because it's the only lesbian relationship I know, and I love a good lesbian or gay relationship. I'm a lesbian, and I just love watching that on TV or reading about it. Sadly, it's the only book that I have found that has a lesbian couple, and that makes me really sad. I would do for any the LGBTQ plus area. Lesbians are my favorite though, but I might be a little biased. But I want any of that, any queer characters, queer relationships. I want more of that in fantasy, and I always try to add. And in the books that I write, I like to add, a relationship like that or something. So yeah. And my books are fantasy, so if you like fantasy and queer representation, you should read some of my books. Sadly, in the series I'm working on right now, there isn't that much. Jasmine Perez, I've told you guys about it. There isn't that much. There's in the second book, there's a brief mention of a Jasmine's nanny being a lesbian because they meet her sister, Jasmine's sister, and she tells them to go because they need help to get out of this place and a safe place to go. So she says, go to this place. This is where you can find Alice's old girlfriend. So yeah, that was a brief mention. They do end up meeting her, but that only lasted like a chapter, maybe 2. But these next cause I'm actually working on the last book of the series now. I'm on chapter 1, and then the series after that, I already know. Um, ser- I already know what I'm gonna work on next, and I'm really excited to start that series. And there will be a lesbian couple, and it will be more into the story. Like, it'll be a big part of the story. One of the main characters is actually a lesbian, and yeah. So, they'll in that book there's actually gonna be a friends to lovers, which is the lesbian relationship, and enemies to lovers. It's kind of an enemies to lovers. It's kind of complicated. But I already have a lot planned out for that story, and I can't wait to get started on it. So yeah, be looking for that. And then I have another series after that I want to do that's gonna have lesbian couple. It won't be the main character, but it is gonna be a character that's on just about almost every chapter, for the most part. But yeah, definitely a character that's on a lot, and yeah. So, and then I have another series where the two main characters are lesbians. That I have a lot, and then there's another series where two of the main characters are lesbians. I have a lot of stories planned, and I'm definitely gonna be adding that a lot in some of them, But yeah, um, but so if you have any recommendations with fantasy that has some queer characters, queer couples, please let me know, because I'll have to check them out. I have to pick them up eventually, because I'm gonna need some more of that in my life eventually. So yeah, but anyways, off that topic, you should definitely check this out if you're a Hocus Pocus fan. I love it. I love the sequel, and so yeah, and I can't wait to finish it and finish tabbing it. One of my tabs is about to come out. But yeah, so I'm at the part where they isn't this the part where they find where Billy joins them? Yeah, this is the part. Um, okay, I just finished the part where Max saved Danny, because after, remember in the movie when they were all at the house, they thought the witches were gone, and then they came back and kidnapped Danny and Binks, and I just got to the part where Max and Allison rescued the two of them, and they left, and that's like where I ended it. So, um, so Billy's about to join them any minute now. So yeah. Uh, Yeah, and I do like the twist the sequel took with it, because they did bring the Sanderson sisters back, obviously, but they did it a little differently. They used a different spell, and because of it, it wasn't. They used a spell instead of lighting the blacksmith candle. They used a spell that they probably shouldn't have, and the only reason why it works because there are spoiler alerts. Actually, I'm not even gonna tell you that spoiler. But anyways, basically they bring them back, and then they are freed from hell, but to be freed from hell with this spell, you have to put someone in their place. So Max, Allison, and Danny ends up going to hell in their place, and they start bringing back several more witches, including their mother, to and people keep going to hell to replace them. And then Poppy, Travis, Isabella, and Katie, who is Jay, he's the blonde guy who was bullying Max, his daughter, Katie, who was enemies with Poppy, and they end up becoming friends. But the four of them have to stop it, and yeah. So I definitely recommend this if it's of interest to you, because it is so good and I love it. And yeah, so definitely check this out. So I finished. So this is my third book of Friends Readathon. I'm reading 4 books, and I'm doing 6 of the Friends prompts, one for each of the Friends characters. This one's for 3 of them. So even though I'm doing 6 prompts, I'm only reading 4 books. Yay! So yeah, definitely check this out. It's definitely worth it. And I'll talk to you guys later about my update for it. So please like and subscribe and comment how your progress is in the Friends Readathon. If you like any of the books I've read so far for the Friends Readathon, if you want to check them out, or if you just have any recommendations for queer characters and couples in fantasy, because I need some. Thank you. And you can follow me on Twitter, Bookstagram, and Goodreads as Secret Books, and I'll talk to you guys later.